Previously on MasterChef Australia.
Are you guys ready? You ready?
The first team challenge.
2 pancetta, 1 prawn pizza.
Served up pizza,
Go.
pasta,
Seriously under the pump at the moment.
and plenty of tension.
This is insane.
Move quicker.
They delivered exceptional food,
I'm so happy with that.
but a mistake by the red team
Not quite right.
saw them topple into elimination.
Tomorrow, one of you will go home.
Tonight,
Create the perfect hot chip.
they must keep their eyes on the fries
God, I'm excited.
with a chip and dip challenge
I'm terrified.
that will push them
You need a hustle.
to the limit. And when it comes to the crunch, some
I love it.
will make the
You
cut.
could cook us lunch later.
The crunchy bits are delicious.
But the bottom 4 will face elimination.
I might be going home based on a bloody potato.
And later,
Good morning.
in the first masterclass of the year,
We're going to show you some great tips and tricks.
home cooking takes center stage
Oh my, how good is that?
as Matt, George,
Let's have a look here.
and Gary
3 really basic recipes.
demonstrate some mouth-watering recipes.
Little dumplings with a garlic and yogurt sauce.
I've packed up all my stuff and it's way before I was expecting to have to do this. And the thought of not coming back to the house tonight is just unthinkable.
How you feeling this morning, Joshy?
A little tired. A lot's on the line today. I've been through probably the worst year of my life. Last year my car was stolen and during that process I was knocked to the ground. It was a traumatic brain injury, so I was in hospital for 9 weeks. It's been a real struggle to get here. It was a relief just to get the top 24 apron. There's some really good cooks I'm going up against. I'm gonna fight so hard and give it my absolute best today.
It's very important for me to stay here, so I'm gonna fight so hard today. It could be savoury challenge today, and I haven't done savoury dishes so far in this competition, so it's just scary. Anyone could possibly go home, and it could be me.
Yeah.
If I went home today, I would be devastated. This is something that I've wanted for a really, really long time. I'm not ready to let go of that dream just yet.
We're all good.
Good morning. Welcome to the MasterChef kitchen.
It's home cooking week. Yummy, everyday food, elevated. to a MasterChef standard. Fundamentally, cooking is how you change an ingredient. You make it better. You change it into something exciting. And that is what today is all about.
Today's elimination is all about one ingredient. It's an ingredient that was first cultivated up in the Andes in Central America. Nowadays, it's probably one of the most commonly used ingredients in many homes around the world. It's absolutely central to so many households' daily diets. It's humble, it's resilient, it's versatile, and it's indispensable. Any idea what it is? Today is all about celebrating the humble potato.
Right, guys, here's how it's going to go. Today consists of 2 rounds. In round 1, we want you to create the perfect hot chip. As well as that, we want a dipping sauce to go with them. The 7 best chip and dips will be safe. The 4 least impressive dishes will go into round 2. From there, 1 person will be going home.
God, I'm excited. I'm going to eat chip.
Potatoes are things that I've worked with quite a bit before, so I'm actually quite happy with that.
Right, some rules. You have 60 minutes to create the perfect chip and dip. You have an open pantry. The garden's in play. Are you ready?
Yep. Yes, Gary.
Your time starts now.
60 minutes starts and I run into the pantry and grab my potatoes. I'm going to work with Sebago potatoes because I know they form a nice crunchy but fluffy chip. Today I'm cooking triple cooked chips with a barbecue sauce.
Come on, Pia. I cook a lot of chips at home. The kids love chips. This should be easy.
Today I'm doing a bit of a combination between nachos and loaded fries. So I'm going to have my fries and I'm going to do avocado sauce with tomato salsa and chili.
My plan is to keep it as simple as possible. So I'm going to do some thick oven-baked chips with a side of garlic aioli. I lay my potatoes in a tray, plenty of olive oil, some sprigs of rosemary, and I throw them in the oven.
Chips and dips. So many things you can do.
In terms of dishes, what would you do?
I'm happy if they bake. I think for most people at home now, they don't use deep fat fry. It uses too much oil, so we oven bake chips.
Don't make wedges at home. I think most people do now. Bake them, and if they're the right spud, they go golden brown and absolutely delicious. And there's about 15 varieties in there. Most people get really confused about different varieties of potatoes and what they're good for. Are they good for mashing, frying, or chips?
Today I'm going to triple cook the chips. I'm going to put them in boiling water to part cook them, take them out and get them in the freezer, and then get them back into the deep fryer at a low temperature. Then I'll put them in the freezer again. Really important that they dry out and cool in between to make sure you get the real crispiness on the outside when they're finally cooked. Then I'll finish them off with the second fry to get them nice and crunchy. Need to get on with the barbecue sauce, so I chop up an onion, I deglaze the pan with a bit of bourbon, add the chopped tomatoes. And grab some Worcestershire sauce and some soy sauce to make sure it's got that real smoky flavour to it. And then leave that to reduce down to make a nice sticky, tasty sauce.
Go Benjamin. Today I'm cooking triple cooked chips with curry sauce. I've chosen chips and curry sauce because it's a beautiful combination that reminds me of strolling around the back blocks of Berlin at 3 a.m. in the morning looking for a quick feed.
Benjamin.
Hey, gents.
There's a lot going on here, isn't there?
Yes.
Fantastic. What is it? What are you doing?
I'm going to do chips and curry sauce.
Yes! I love it. And you picked Kipfler potatoes?
Yeah, because curry sauce and chips I first had in Germany, and so I've gone the Kipfler potato.
Right, okay. Because normally Kipflers are really waxy, so I don't know how they're going to behave at this time of the year in the fryer. And you won't know either.
Until they come out. Yes, all right, thank you. I am a little concerned that the judges said Kipfler might not have been the right choice for this time of season, so we'll have to see how that comes out. The Kipfler potatoes are parboiled and about to crumble. Perfect texture. I take them out and throw them in the fridge to drive off a bit of moisture. I hear Gary's concerns, but I know I'm triple cooking these. I think the method might cover any flaws in the potato.
So today I'll be making fried chips with feta crumbles and parsley crumbles and tomato sauce.
Come on, Mishi.
My idea is about pasta sauce with chips, so it's kind of like Italian kind of inspired dish.
Come on, Mish.
I normally cook savoury at home for my parents, but it's something like roast pork, lamb, fresh salad, but not fried chips. How do you use this? So I start putting raw potatoes into the hot oil.
Michelle looks a little bit flustered. She didn't boil her chips first. I just don't know if it's going to work.
I'm going to cook my favourite sort of roast chip potatoes and then a horseradish mayo. I'm happy because, to be honest, I cook these roast potatoes pretty much once a week at home. I know the method to make them really crispy, so I'm going to try and apply that. The normal potato is a Sebago. I use that a lot in roasting because it gives a nice crunchy texture, and just a standard sweet potato as well. So first step is to part boil them. After that, I want to throw them through some tasty butter. Butter is the thing that gives flavour, oil gives crispiness. Also put some garlic in there as well as some thyme. And then straight into the oven to roast.
Good job, Josh. Golden, crispy, crunchy, delicious chips. 30 minutes to go.
Come on.
Today I'm cooking oven roasted chips. I'm going to do a roasted garlic mayonnaise. My chips are all on the go. I've got my garlic in the oven, which is going to be for my roasted garlic aioli, but I start questioning whether that might be just a little bit too simple. So my brain starts ticking over and I think I might make a smoky whiskey sauce instead. Now I've grabbed some vinegar, tomato, apples and whiskey. I blitzed up my apples with some vinegar and water, added that to the tomato and just get that reducing and thickening as well. I've chosen these flavours because my dream is to have a whiskey and dessert bar, and I really, really love incorporating whiskey with food. I know that this particular one I've chosen is really smoky and really delicious, and I think it's going to work amazingly well as a dipping sauce for chips.
Today I'm going to do my take on salt and vinegar chips. So salt and vinegar is my favourite flavour combination when I think of chips.
I'm going to make twice cooked chips with a roast garlic hummus and a vinegary balsamic glaze.
Using that?
Yeah.
I like it.
I thought you would.
There's definitely no room for chances today. I'm cooking crisps as well as chips and know the crisps will work.
I don't think I need them, but they are super quick and easy and they'll be good, so they're a backup.
They look beautiful, Aaron.
We take the chips out of the freezer to do the first round in the fryer. It's only at a lower heat, not enough to put any colour on the chips, just enough to cook them finely on the inside and seal the outside. I'm feeling pretty good about the way they're coming on at the moment, but I still need to keep motoring.
Keep pushing, Pia.
I'm making a fresh salsa with avocado dip with the hot chips.
Oh my God, are you making nachos?
I'm doing a combination between nachos and loaded fries.
I love the idea. How are your chips going?
Yeah, I'm doing it in a pan in a minute.
You need to forget about your guac and
Yep.
get straight on to putting some oil in
Yep.
the pan because you really haven't got much time.
I know.
The oil's going to take, what, 5 minutes to heat up to
Yep.
the right temperature?
Yep.
You need a hustle.
I don't normally use a deep fryer home. I don't actually own one, so I normally fry in a pot on the stove. So I grab a pot, fill it up halfway with oil, but I now have to wait for the oil to heat up.
I'm heating it up in a pot right here at the moment. The oil's taking forever to heat up for me.
Michelle's decided to fry her chips without parboiling them, and I'm a little bit worried for her now.
I take my chips out of the freezer, but they're quite oily, so I'm just going to throw them away. I threw down the chips because it was just becoming soggy and it spills a lot of oil. I don't think it was working out.
Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself.
Now I have to start again from scratch because I didn't make any spare chips. So I start peeling another potato. This time around, I'm just going to parboil the chips first before frying them twice. But there's only 15 minutes left to go. I hope I have enough time.
We love chips and sauce. We can't wait. 15 minutes to go. Come on.
I go to the oven to check the potatoes and I pull a couple of testers out.
Do they look good?
They're a little soggy. I can't believe it. There's too much butter in there, which is not allowing them to crisp up. They're not overly soggy, but I really would like to get that punchy crunch on there, so somehow I've got to try and fix that. So I put them back in the oven, under the grill on a really high heat.
How are they going, George? How are your chips going?
I just need them to crisp up a little bit. Too much butter and not enough oil.
What can you do? You've got about 12 minutes left.
I've cranked the oven, so...
But you know what? A chip with no crunch? Really?
Yeah. I'll have a think, thanks. I am definitely worried because what's a potato chip like if it's not crunchy? The chips are the hero ingredient, so without them, I don't have a dish.
So today, the first round is to make a hot chip with a dipping sauce in 60 minutes. The top 7 chips and dip are going to be safe, and then the bottom 4 are going to go into a second round of elimination where one person will go home.
I'm not happy with these chips. They're literally sogged out from too much butter, and they're just not crisp enough in the oven.
Turn the heat up.
Yeah. It's up. So I'm going to have to think of another solution to get them crispy. The only way that I can think of to crisp them up is in the deep fryer. I really hope this last step of putting them in the deep fryer is going to give them enough crunch for the judges to like them.
Come on, cooks, 10 minutes. Get frying, get cooking. Let's finish this one off. Yes, guys, come on.
I go to check my chips in the oven and they're really not looking good. My chips haven't cooked properly and I am starting to feel really nervous.
I've got chips in the oven which are not going brown, so I'm just not really sure where I am right now.
But my fryer's on, so I chuck them in the deep fryer. I've got no other options left, so hopefully it's going to work out well.
7 minutes to go! 7 minutes!
My sauce is ready. I think it's got a really nice smoky flavour to it.
I'm happy with it. I really like it. I just hope the judges do.
I take the chips out of the freezer and get them back in really hot oil. Really important I've got enough time to do this because they need to be lovely and golden and crispy on the outside.
I'm triple cooking these chips. They've been fried once already and sat in the freezer. They come out and they're ready for their final fry. The judges questioned kipfler potatoes. The kipflers might not be the best choice for frying. They look pretty good, but I'm worried about how they are inside. I taste one and they're still pretty waxy and floury in the middle. Just a touch longer. I'm thinking I've chosen the wrong potato.
because I had to start my chips all over again. I've wasted a lot of time. So I'm on the now deep frying my part-boiled chips for the first time.
Come on, Missy.
It's not colouring. I'm just worried they're not going to be as crispy. Waiting. So I crank up the heat to 190 degrees and just hope for the best for them.
I've got 2 different lots of crisps and chips on the go, and I'm still trying to work out which one will work out best in the end. I've got some beautiful crisps, but my chips are not browning up.
2 minutes to go! Come on, 2 minutes!
I pull out the basket and they look amazing.
They're looking so good.
Okay, I'm so relieved. I didn't think that a chip could cause so much stress.
Chips and nips in 1 minute. Come on, guys.
My chips are not as golden as what I want them to be, but I'm hoping they'll be crispy enough to actually get me through.
30 seconds!
My hot chips aren't crunchy, and I'm just so confused about what to do. I grab my chips and put them in the bowl instead of using my crisps, and I just hope I've made the right decision.
10 seconds! 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up!
Don't wait for your chips.
Time's up and I'm feeling a massive sense of relief. I really couldn't be happier with how these chips have turned out.
I feel like I've probably done enough to keep myself out of round 2. I feel really good about the way the sauce came together. The chips look really nice and crunchy.
I look down at my chips. I know instantly I've made the wrong decision.
I should have put my other ones on though.
Are they crunchy? Oh, mate.
What a brilliant cook. Who would have thought chips and dips could be so exciting? And exciting for us because we're about to taste. So, Aram, I think you'll be first.
Aram,
Hi.
so, chips, barbecue sauce, yes?
Yes, they're triple cooked chips. I boiled them first, then cooked them at 160 in oil to seal them, and then crunched them up at the last minute.
But then, you know, the problem is when things are as crunchy as that, everything goes out of our mind other than must eat.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, fair enough.
Gee, I really like that.
That's what makes chips addictive, is just, it is absolutely the crunch, isn't it?
But that sauce is smoky and balanced well, the right amount of heat. It's just delicious. And the right dippiness. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Dippiness is important.
There is a dipometer, and that's...
Yeah, on the dipometer scale.
Stand up.
Great. Get me away from them now.
Yeah. Nice cooking.
It feels really good to get feedback like this. I had such a good time cooking, and the fact that judges love it as well, it's just the best feeling. It's really good.
The sauce I know is really good, but these chips are questionable. I know inside they're going to be a little tough.
Benjamin.
Hello, gents.
Kind of excited about this one. Chips and curry sauce.
Childhood memories for you.
It is a little bit.
I've used kip for potatoes.
That's a great curry sauce. But for me, the sauce is not the issue.
Just not crispy. Brown, but not crispy.
So waxy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, look, I don't love it. I don't love it at all. The potatoes are soggy. So the joy of taking that crispy chip and putting it into a hot curry sauce is kind of lost on me.
Wrong choice of potato.
Nicole.
I've made polenta crusted chips with a porcini mayo.
Really, I've never thought of that. Polenta on the outside of the chip and frying it. Great idea.
Sam, what's the dish?
Twice cooked chips with a chicken and rosemary gravy.
Even though they're pale, I can still hear some crunching going on. And I love the idea of gravy.
Tamara?
So I've done pot chips with chili jam and a mayo.
That and that together are really yum. Samuel?
Done thrice cooked chips with a tomato chutney and aioli.
That is fantastic.
You could cook us lunch later, maybe that with some steamed fish.
Samuel!
As the judges come up to my bench, I am worried about the crispiness. That's essential to chips. You really need that crunchy texture.
So, Josh, when I came round about 12 minutes to go, your baked chips weren't crisping up.
I decided to put them in the deep fryer to give a nice crispy texture.
So you blanched them, you baked them, you grilled them, and you fried them. So you've actually invented now not the thrice cooked trip, but the quadruple cooked trip.
Sure, I'll run with that.
Give us the name of the dish.
Sweet potato and potato chips with horseradish mayo.
Fat did you cook in the chips in that pan?
Mostly butter.
They're not that crispy.
I love the sweet potato chips.
Yep.
They're delicious.
But we've had some problems with the actual potato chips.
I knew my mistake in the chips. I just can't believe that I made that mistake in the MasterChef kitchen.
I'm waiting for the judges to come up to my bench and I'm so nervous. I'm shaking like a leaf and I'm terrified.
Louise?
Hi.
What is it?
This is twice cooked chips with a whiskey sauce.
Oh, whiskey sauce. What else is in the sauce?
I had some tomato passata and some apples, which I stewed and then pureed through.
You pleased?
Considering it wasn't what I initially intended to do, I'm happy with how it's turned out.
Certainly lots of crispy bits in there.
I left all the crispy bits on because they're my favourite bits.
The crunchy bits are delicious. The richness of that sauce is great. There's a nice hit of quality whiskey in there, which is unusual, but I think it works really well with the chips. And put that on a menu in Scotland and you'd have a queue 100 miles long.
Put that on the menu anywhere. I think that tastes great.
George, how do they go on the Diplometer?
Very, very good. It's redlining.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Great stuff.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if my chips are going to be crunchy enough today, but I'm hoping my nacho-style dips will actually get me through.
Pia, what have you cooked?
Nacho-style chili chips, a fresh salsa, grated cheese, and avocado dip.
Go on then, load them up.
Load them up? Okay. Oh my gosh.
I think all that's great and it's quite nostalgic, but this was about chips and dips. The chips aren't crispy and aren't what they should be. You know that.
Yep.
Right, Jess.
So I've made a roast garlic hummus with a balsamic and pomegranate glaze and twice cooked pink salt chips.
The centre is undercooked because it needs to be steaming and fluffy, doesn't it? And then you've got, oh,
these look amazing. Oh, if you'd nixed them, put them on there, you would have given us a totally different take on chips and dip. But sadly, you didn't put these chips out. Put those ones out.
Yeah.
just worried because my chips aren't golden brown and I just feel like I haven't done my best.
Hoping this is going to keep you safe. You don't want to be cooking in the second round. Michelle,
what's the dish?
Chips with tomato sauce, feta crumbles, and parsley.
The sauce is delicious, and actually I like it as an idea. I like the flavours, but you got problems with the chips. There's very little crispiness in amongst those, and some of them actually are quite soggy, to be honest.
Yeah.
You're in trouble as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with the judges that the chips haven't cooked properly. I'm just worried I'm going to be in the bottom 4.
You know what? I think Australia right now are weak at the knees, scratching their plasma screens, trying to eat chips off them. 3 dishes that really stood out today. Samuel, Aram, and Eloise. Well done.
Well done.
I'm so stoked that I don't have to cook in round 2 and I'm not going home today.
Obviously today we're looking sadly for the bottom 4. If I call your name, please step forward. Jess. Josh. Benjamin. And Michelle. Michelle, Josh, Jess, Benjamin, you're in round 2 where you're fighting for your place in this competition. The rest of you, well done, up to the gas.
I'm so relieved. My chips weren't as crispy as I would have liked, but the judges loved my nacho-inspired toppings, and that saved me.
Today is all about the potato. Love it made into gnocchi, into soup, into pancakes. In fact, anything if it heroes that humble vegetable. We also love potatoes because they very cleverly, very easily walk that line between savoury and sweet. To stay in this competition, you need to give us a delicious dish that heroes the potato. You've got an open pantry and you have 60 minutes. The least impressive dish sends their maker home. Your 60 minutes starts now.
We have 60 minutes to create a dish that heroes the humble potato. They want us to be inventive with it and to take the humble potato to the next level. The concept I'm going for today is making a dessert out of my favourite chip, which is salt and vinegar.
Go, Jess.
I'm going to do a dark chocolate burnt ganache that's going to be coated in some crushed salty crisps, and I'm also going to do some potato dumplings and a balsamic jelly, so it's kind of like a sweet concept of salt and vinegar. I'm going to cook with my heart today. It's just not an option for me to go home this early. I haven't put it all on the line to go home third.
Up until today, I haven't cooked savoury in this competition, and my hot chips were a disaster. I know that I can use the potato to make a dessert, but I really want to prove to the judges that I can do savoury as well as sweets. So I'm going to focus on home cooking and stick to something simple. The first thing that pops out to my mind is my grandma's vegetarian curry. Potato curry with potato chips on top. The first thing I start doing is to make the broth. Yes, Fishy! So I start to chop garlic, shallots and chilies. I add in vegetable stock, fish sauce, soy sauce and let it reduce just to intensify the flavors. I have a memory of eating this dish with my grandma when I was living with her in Indonesia. She always cooked for all of us. Just great memories. I miss her very much. I haven't seen my grandma for a while, so this is definitely going to make her proud. Come on, Josh.
I'm really disappointed in myself, but I'm going to try and give it my absolute best in this round.
It's going to be gnocchi, pretty basic Italian sauce. Italian cooking at its heart is simple, and that's what I'm trying to bring to the table today.
The perfect gnocchi for me is really, really fluffy, soft texture on the inside of the gnocchi with a nice crispy outer from pan frying. What I do at home is boil the potatoes whole with the skins because it stops too much moisture from going in, and it also allows me to take the skin off easily. I think it'll take 20 minutes or so from cold.
I'm going to be pushing it in an hour because the water is cold and it takes so long to come to boil.
Josh is attempting gnocchi within an hour and just a bit concerned. It's a bit of a risk.
The dish I'm making is a play on salt and vinegar chips, but I'm doing it in a savoury dessert. I think it's really important that you try and push the envelope, and that's what I was going for in my judges audition that won me an apron.
I've just chucked some potatoes in to get boiling because I'm going to do some little potato dumplings and a chocolate ganache that'll be covered in some crispy potato crisps.
Okay. Have you done a dish like this before?
There's a few flavours that I like working with,
Okay.
and I really like pushing the boundaries on savoury style desserts.
A lot going on.
I need to move.
I don't actually know if 60 minutes is enough time to create this.
Come on, Jess.
I measure out my ingredients for the choux pastry that is going to be incorporated to make my dumplings. 172, so 80. And when I'm happy with how my choux pastry looks on the stove, I get it into a stand mixer so I can start trying to aerate it. I am taking a risk making a dessert like this in this cook, but it's a risk I have to take, and I have to show the judges that I can cook with my heart.
Benjamin?
What's the dish?
I'm going to make sweet potato donuts.
So what are you doing? You're boiling sweet potato?
To make a mash.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to put it with choux pastry and deep fry them.
Right, so they're going to be sweet.
They are.
What a great idea.
My concern is, Gary, the water content in the sweet potato.
Yeah, I'm going to put them in the oven and dehydrate them as much as possible.
Go, Benny, stay in the zone today, mate. Make sure that's smooth, Benny.
George's concern was that you must get the water content out of the mash. So I'm going to whack it in the oven and just try and dehydrate a little bit. These donuts cannot be soggy on the inside.
Michelle?
Yeah?
What's the dish?
I'm making my grandma's style curry broth with potatoes, and I'm going to crisp up some potatoes on top as well. Normally it has chicken, everything, but I'm planning to make vegetarian one today because I want the potatoes to stand out.
So using it in two different ways.
Yes.
Delicious bowl of broth. That's not a bad idea, I like it.
Obviously, this is quite nostalgic for you, your grandmother's broth, yeah? So, good.
I'm happy, yeah.
Right.
Smash it out of the park, that's all we can say, yeah.
Come on, Michelle.
Smells good, Mish. Keep it up.
I just want to cook my best and, you know, want to serve the judges what my grandma has taught me, and I think it's going to be amazing.
Good work, Mishy.
Don't let this be your last cook in the MasterChef kitchen. 30 minutes to go.
Come on, Jess.
So many elements going on. I'm just trying to keep my head in the game. I've got chocolate ganache and I've got salt and vinegar jelly in the freezer. I've got white chocolate roasting in the oven. I'm making my crisps and I've got potatoes on the stove for the mash. And I'm just trying to keep it all together.
doing so much, Jess.
I am.
You've got me a wee bit nervous.
I know, I'm a bit nervous too.
Almost sounds like a pressure test dish doing so much.
I can do it.
Yeah?
I can do it.
Look at me. Of course you can. We know that. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Leave it in here.
I'm acutely aware that this could be my last chance to cook in this kitchen, but this is the kind of cook that I am. If I'm not here to cook well under this kind of pressure, then what am I doing here?
There is a lot riding on this humble little potato. 25 to go. Come on, Josh.
So today I'm making pan-fried gnocchi with a traditional tomato sauce and smoked speck. I make this sauce all the time at home. It was taught to me by an Italian, so I think it's pretty fitting with gnocchi. So the sauce is looking good, but the most important thing today is getting the potato to the right texture where I can put it through the potato ricer so it comes out extremely smooth to combine together.
Josh, what's going on?
I'm going to do a gnocchi that I have once a week at least.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be pushing it to get the potato soft enough.
Are they whole potatoes?
They are, yeah.
Right, so why are you doing that?
Because that's how I've always done it.
Yeah, you're pushing it.
I'm feeling really worried that my potatoes may not be soft enough to make gnocchi, and the gnocchi is the hero of the dish. It is the potato in my dish.
You need to sort that out.
I really need to get these potatoes cooked, and that's all that matters to me at the moment.
Are they whole potatoes?
They are, yeah.
Right, so why are you doing that? Yeah, you're pushing it.
Yeah.
When I'm at home, I just chop them up, cook them till they're tender. If the gnocchi is what you're hanging your hat on, which is what the dish is all about,
Yeah.
Gary usually chops them up. I'm going to listen to him, and immediately I chop up some of my bigger potatoes. I think it will help a lot because they're going to be a quarter of the size, so I think they'll cook a lot quicker.
20 minutes to go. 20 minutes left. That's all.
The mashed potato's been in the oven and passed to the freezer. It's as dry as I'm going to get it in an hour. So I mixed 2 parts mashed potato with 1 part choux pastry. I now have my dough. It's time to try this donut mix. I've got to see if it works. This competition means everything to me. Absolutely everything to me. It's a life changer and I want to stay here as long as possible.
Nice, Ben.
This is a real risk. I've only got 1 chance with the donuts. If these donuts are a little bit iffy, I don't have enough mixture or enough time to do it again. The donuts are cooking up, browning on the outside, but I don't know if they're cooking in the centre.
They taste good.
Gotta get them in the fryer.
Yeah, gonna do that now.
So once I've incorporated the mashed potato into the choux mix, I get it straight into a piping bag and then into the deep fryer.
So there's only 15 minutes to go. I think some of the portions of potato in there are soft enough for the ricer. I pull those out.
Are they feeling soft?
Yes, I think they're good enough.
Get them straight through the ricer.
I think it's okay.
Josh begins to rice the potatoes, but I notice that he struggles to get them through the ricer.
I'm really worried about Josh. If he hasn't cooked through those potatoes, there's going to be a real texture to that gnocchi and it's not going to be nice.
So much depending on this last 10 minutes. Come on! Let's go!
I add my egg yolk into the potato, a little flour after that, some seasoning, and combine it together. Yeah, they're looking good. I'd probably like them a little bit more firm, but I haven't got time to spare. I just got to get my gnocchi into the water.
The most important thing about my grandma's vegetable curry is that I want the broth to taste like my grandma's, but I'm gonna do a little twist with the potatoes. The idea of featuring the potatoes today is to have one crispy and one creamy. To make the potato crisp, I cut the potatoes into thin slices and fry them in grapeseed oil.
Looks good, Mish.
I'm not going home today. I'm not gonna let myself go home and see my mum. It's too early. Yay, Mishy!
The gnocchi's floated to the top. It's done. The gnocchi's looking good. A little bit of olive oil to make sure that they don't stick, and then they're straight in the hot pan with the sauce. I really want to get a crispy texture on the outside of the gnocchi, so it contrasts with the soft centre.
5 minutes to go, you hear me? Come on! Let's go! Come on! Get on there! Come on! Push! Push!
5 minutes to go. The donuts have been in the deep fryer for a little while now, and I'm really hoping they're cooked through. If these donuts are fried on the outside but soggy on the inside, that's it. I'm going home. I take the batch out. They need quite a bit longer in there. They're crispy on the outside, soggy in the middle. I'm so worried. I need to fix this problem. I'm going to double fry them. I'm going to try and get them cooked, but I don't think I've got enough time.
They look good, right?
Yeah, they look good.
My dumplings look beautiful and golden, and I think they're ready, so I get them out of the deep fryer. I cut one open to try it, and it's perfect.
Oops, yeah.
Which is such a relief.
Yeah, nice.
It's been massive. Jelly's set, the ganache is set, the white chocolate's done. I'm going to get it done.
Get everything else ready. You're running out of time.
Right, yeah.
I start pouring my curry broth into a bowl, garnish it with sprigs of coriander leaves and a squeeze of lime juice.
With 2 minutes to go, it's time to plate up. I'm not completely happy with the crunch of the gnocchi.
How is it?
Could be firmer. It's still not quite the way I would like it for the judges, but I got to get it on the plate.
Gotta push, Josh.
There's no time left now. The donuts got to come out of the fryer. They look crisp, golden, but I don't have enough donuts to spare, and so I can't split one open to have a look at it. I'm not sure whether they're cooked.
Come on, Benji, push, mate.
I've done nothing but exactly what the judges have asked me to do. I've cooked with my heart, I've trusted my instincts, I've taken the kind of risks that I want to take in my cooking. But it doesn't matter if I've been able to pull off an amazing dish in 60 minutes if I don't get any of it in the bowl.
10 seconds! 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it! Time's up.
Right on, mate. How'd you go?
Oh, all right, that was stressful.
Well done, Jess.
Time is up, and I'm feeling very happy right now because it's tasting delicious, and I think my grandma would be proud of me if she was here.
My biggest worry with this dish is that these donuts aren't cooked. I haven't had time to test them, and I might be serving them up raw to the judges.
Absolute rush to get it on the plate. It'll all come down to the texture of the gnocchi, and I'm not 100% sure on that.
Time's up, and I can't even believe that I finished all the elements that I set out to make.
I'm wrecked. Yeah, that was the cook of my life.
If this isn't enough to keep me safe, I don't know what is.
feeling very nervous walking in with another savoury dish. But I've cooked my heart out, and I think my grandma would be very proud of me.
Can you tell us what the dish is?
So it's my grandma's vegetable curry. I cut the potatoes into cubes and just added into the curry. I also sliced up the potatoes and flash fried it to become like the crisp.
Today started out, it was like we'd revealed the most terrifying ingredient in the world when we pulled up that cloth and showed you a potato. Big smile now.
I'm happy with my dish. I guess when I cook desserts, I was a bit more comfortable because I've cooked desserts more than savoury, but when I've got my grandma's inspiration behind my back, I felt less nervous.
So tell us about your relationship with your grandmother when you were growing up. Well, what was it like?
Back in Indonesia, I used to live with my grandma. So she used to take care of us. We used to have family gatherings every week. I know that she has always been proud of me, but being able to present to you guys her dish, just, you know, she'll be amazed.
Michelle, it's time for us to taste.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. Enjoy.
What do you reckon, boys?
Looks thick, looks rich, looks tasty.
It does look tasty.
Yeah. I like the fact, too, that she's thought about playing the potato in two different ways. So you got the soft potato in the curry and then the crisp potatoes on top. It's great. Fabulous.
That is a warm, fuzzy bowl of Indonesian love, isn't it? It's delicious. The silkiness of the potato is perfect, and those crispy potatoes on top, absolutely a soup that is all about the humble spud, but elevated the way we wanted it.
Very subtle and clever use of spices. It's not too hot, it's not too spicy, it's not too funky, it's not too out there.
There's no chicken, there's no beef, there's no seafood in it, and you don't need it.
Yeah.
It's just all-rounding beautiful.
I love it.
Shall we get the next dish in?
Sure.
My biggest worry with this dish is that these donuts aren't cooked. If they're not, that's it. I'm going home.
I think you have more food on your apron than you have on that plate, Benjamin.
Yeah.
What's the dish?
Today I've done sweet potato donuts with lemon curd and chantilly cream.
Brilliant. Where did this idea come from?
I wanted to be a bit more inventive. I think I've been shooting for middle of the pack, just trying to survive the first couple of weeks, and I wanted to do something different.
Risky strategy was only 4 of you
Yes.
in this final round. So by doing something technical, getting it wrong, it's going to send you home.
I did think about that, weighed up the balances. I'm happy with my decision. I own that decision.
Benjamin, thank you.
Thank you, gents.
Cheers.
You know what? This is a huge step up in terms of looks, at least.
I like it. I really do. I think golden brown, they look like they're crispy donuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? Shall we? I think we just pick one up.
The key is, isn't it? Is it crispy on the outside, cooked in the middle?
Hungry for inspiration? Get the MasterChef recipes everyone's talking about at 10play.com.au/MasterChef.
idea. Here, put yours next to mine, George.
Oh, yours are undercooked.
My one was okay. I think it's a really clever idea. The curd was great, chantilly cream was great.
How good's the lemon curd?
It is delicious, George.
Yeah. I love the fact, too, that he explored the technique. They are difficult to make, but it's a shame you got the dodgy one.
Right, let's get the next dish in.
I don't even know what to think anymore. I am so exhausted after that cook. I've taken the kind of risks that I want to take in my cooking, but it doesn't please everyone. I think the judges are either going to love it or they're going to hate it.
What have you cooked?
So I've made for you my sweet version of salt and vinegar, a chocolate ganache, potato dumplings, crispy, salty potato crisps. There's a balsamic gel underneath. It has that vinegar hit, and fresh pomegranate seeds.
Oh, Jess, you left nothing behind in that cook, did you?
I've never pushed myself like that before in the kitchen, but that's the kind of pressure that is the next level that I want to be pushed at.
Why do you think you need and want that sort of pressure?
This is really the first time that I have strived for something that means so much more to me, and that is such a dream that I always thought was just too impossible to consider.
Means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Yeah. This opportunity, I'm just so aware that I don't want to waste it.
All right, then, we'll taste.
Thank you.
How pretty is that? I love that.
It's a big surprise. I had absolutely no idea that this dessert would look delicious. Looks good though, doesn't it?
It's great. You know, I'm most interested to tear open that and see whether
it's totally cooked, which it is.
Which it is. That's delicious.
Wow. Gee, that is absolutely fabulous, isn't it?
That is so balanced between salty, sweet, the bitterness of chocolate is so yum.
The chocolate, the vinegar, the crispy potatoes, all these little elements are just absolutely having a party in my mouth and completely unexpected.
The fact that the vinegar in the gel is soaked into the base of those little donuts really accentuates the vinegar hit you get with the chocolate.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. For some bizarre reason, it works really well.
She has ticked the brief in all aspects and blown my mind at the same time.
Yeah.
Right, let's get the next dish in.
I know there are issues with my gnocchi. The texture is not the best. It's not what I would usually want to serve to the judges, but the sauce will be tasty. I'm hoping that gets me through.
Josh, what have you cooked?
It's gnocchi in a tomato sauce with some smoked speck.
Obviously, Gary and I came to your bench. There was some large, big potatoes in the pot boiling. What did you do after that?
Then I took Gary's advice on board and chopped them up, put them through the ricer, and they looked good to me.
Did you cook the potatoes enough? Is that texture super smooth, or is there a little kind of nuggety bits of potato in there?
It should be super smooth. The texture was good going through the ricer, so...
How many times you made gnocchi at home?
50, 60, maybe. I know how much you guys like gnocchi and how much experts you are. I just hope I've done enough.
Josh, fingers crossed now, man. It's up to us now to taste and make an evaluation. Thanks,
Cool.
Josh.
All right, thanks, guys.
I love the simplicity of the gnocchi, and for me, all it's got to be is a really lovely, soft, silky, textured gnocchi in a good tomato sauce, and Josh is safe.
Yeah, it's all about that gnocchi.
Yeah. Smells good.
Who's going to say it? Who's going to say it? The gnocchi is undercooked.
The potatoes undercooked. Love the sauce. Lots of flavour. Tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, bacon.
It's a shame because the sauce is delicious, but that there is undercooked gnocchi.
Benjamin, Jess, Josh, Michelle, one of you is about to leave the competition. We asked you to cook a dish that celebrated the humble potato. And some of you did that. You took it to another level.
There were two dishes that absolutely wowed us. Jess. Who would have thought vinegar, chocolate, salt and potato would have sung such a beautiful tune together? That was top-notch cooking. You're safe.
Thanks.
There was one other dish we also loved, and that belonged to Michelle. Michelle, you brought us the bowl of warm, fuzzy Indonesian love. You showed us you had savoury cooking chops to go with your sweet skills. So well done. Well done.
Good job. So, Josh, Benjamin, comes down to the two of you. You both had cracking flavours in your dishes. Josh, we love that sauce. Tomato, garlic, smoky bacon. Benjamin, we also thought your dish looked fantastic. Those little fritters. And we also love the lemon curd and that soft chantilly cream. But you both had problems with the potato element, which was the heart of your dish. Benjamin, Matt's donut was crisp and golden on the outside. And on the inside, it was undercooked. But ours weren't, and that's why, Benjamin, You're safe. Josh, you knew it. You undercooked your potatoes. And we could taste that your gnocchi were lumpy. I'm sorry, that means you're going home.
Josh, how fabulous. You made it into the judges' auditions and into the top 24. And even though it seems quite early that you're leaving, believe us when we say this. This process and being here will change your life forever.
The whole experience has been amazing. You know, this is something that money can't buy, so yeah.
Good on you, stuff. Well, Josh, it's time to say goodbye.
I'm really going to miss Josh. It's sad to think that he's leaving so early in this competition.
Oh, you're going to shake our hand.
But I know that he's got the determination to do amazing things with food.
This competition is the experience of a lifetime, literally. I'm so glad I did it. My MasterChef journey has ended a lot earlier than expected, but it's given me determination to get out there, chase my dreams, and do what I love.
Right, guys? Next, a very special treat. A home cooking masterclass from the best cooks in the world. Matt Preston, Gary Megan, and Lee. Get out of here. Off you go.
See you soon.
Just to be in a different environment than the kitchen and just being able to relax while still learning is really exciting.
This is the best feeling. I've been looking forward to a masterclass for ages.
A home cooking week was all about cooking simple. So it'd be really, really great to see the judges show us how far we can take simple cooking.
Always keen to learn new things, so hopefully they'll be able to teach us all some new tricks.
Good morning. Good morning. How are we? The first masterclass of 2017. Welcome to Alexandra Gardens. And of course, just over there, the iconic Richmond Rowing Club. We've tasted some absolutely delicious food so far in the competition, and this week has been no exception. Even though we took all that fancy cooking equipment away, we're in the driver's seat today. Take some notes, make the most of it. We're going to show you some great tips and tricks.
But we're still in home cooking week, so that means there will be no fancy equipment, there will be no tweezer work. So you know you used to just saying to George, yes, George? If you see him touch the tweezers, the line is, no, George! So we've got some fantastic dishes that you're going to, I think, enjoy, and you might learn some stuff from. For me, a dish that you're going to take home and cook for your friends or your family. And it's basically just nuggets and chips, but very simple, super tasty. And those chips, because of what happened this week, might also have a couple of dips with them. And you know what? Those dips will stand up to the dipometer, Aaron.
Nice. Mine's simple too. Mine's just going to be beetroot and chocolate. Maybe a couple of other little things. We'll see how we go.
I'm going to do something really simple. Use the barbecue, put some broccoli on that, and serve that with a little tomato paste dressing. Gary and I, we're going to cook pasta. How does that sound? Pumped?
Yeah.
Excited? Boys, get out of here. Come on. Come on.
All right, take over.
Right, first cook of the day. We're going to do a dish using this beautiful barbecue. And there's nothing more delicious than barbecuing not only meat, but also vegetables over wood. And we've got the humble broccoli. For me, it's all about keeping the integrity and shape of this broccoli. So what I'm going to do is cut it right through the guts. And what I end up with is that. Put that on a tray. Olive oil, which I love dearly. Sea salt. And just make sure that's had a really good lathering of this yummy stuff. And then barbecue. And then we can just pop that over the top to create a little oven. Yeah, simple stuff. Our blender. First thing that goes in is 250 grams of toasted cashews. Ginger, 75 grams. Mustard powder, 7 grams. Clove of garlic, 1. 100 mils of light soy sauce. 200 grams caster sugar. 60 grams of roasted sesame oil. A half a teaspoon of chili oil. 110 grams of rice wine vinegar. All right, what's happening here? Let's just have a look. No, it's good. Gentle heat, it's beautiful. That is beautiful. And then finally, 125 grams of tinned tomato paste. And you're probably going, what? Raw tomato paste straight out of a tin? This is home cooking week, and pretty much all of these ingredients everyone has in their pantry at home. And then blend. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm looking for a balanced sauce with a lot of punch that's going to help carry that broccoli, all right? This sauce is fantastic, even with a grilled piece of fish, lamb cutlets. I'll get a couple of you out to taste in a minute, but you'll understand why. Finally, 125 grams of toasted sesame seeds. And this is what really pulls this together. Right, barbecue broccoli. Let's have a look here. Look at that, how good's that look? Yeah, we'll leave it a little bit more on that side. I just want some more chariness. So dressing's complete. I've got some yogurt in a bag ready to go. Let's start to dress this, all right? Sauce goes down. Right, broccoli. Looks good. Yogurt. And the yogurt's going to add that little freshness and sourness. Okay? And then we start to... I can't do it. So some of these beautiful little broccoli leaves, and you are in the job to make things look bloody beautiful. Food needs to look gorgeous. And this is my barbecue broccoli. Right, who wants to taste? Aram, Carly, Pete.
god, that is amazing.
Wow, that's bloody delicious. I'm a steak man, but
But lovely, isn't it? I mean, a lovely lunch, you know.
So
that's delicious. That salad, I mean, it's yummy stuff. Now you're going to head over to the rowing club to catch up with Gary because he's going to cook a beautiful dessert using chocolate and beetroot. Right, guys, off you go.
See ya.
Coming up,
come in.
Gary turns two unlikely ingredients.
This is the only way to cook a beetroot
into a winning combination.
Michelle's at the front going, oh, wait.
Plus, Matt gives us his spin on a family favourite.
Miso bacon mayonnaise, buttery nuggets, and crisp potato chips.
And George joins Gary.
It's been a while since we've done these together.
For a pasta making masterclass.
This is our tortellini filled with lamb, yogurt sauce, burnt butter sauce.
Come in. Right, today we're going to do a chocolate mousse, we're going to do a jube, we're going to make an ice cream, a quick one, and then we're going to put that together in a kind of fancy looking dessert. So we're going to do jubes first, all right? They're going to take a little bit of time. Anybody made them before? I was looking at you, Callum, because I'm thinking for sure. These are going to be blackberry. So I've got 600 mils of blackberry puree. And then I've got 400 grams of caster sugar and 120 grams of glucose, all right? So in that goes. So we're going to bring that up to the boil, and then we're going to add pectin, all right? Now, to add pectin into a boiling liquid, you've actually got to mix through the boiling liquid and dissolve. So we've got 20 grams of pectin, we've got 35 grams of sugar. When you make a jam or a jube, is you want some acid in there because it's the action of the acid and the pectin that create that gel. And how strong that gel is going to be depends on how much pectin and how much acid, all right? So essentially we're bringing it up to the boil because we want the glucose to dissolve, starts the cooking process. Okay, so this puree is coming up to the boil, all right? So we're going to whisk in the pectin and the sugar. And we're going to whisk in about 100 mils of water, all right? And then this is now going to cook, all right? And there's two things that are going to happen here. It's going to start gelling because of the action of the pectin, all right? But it's also going to start cooking the sugar out. It's that cooking of the sugar and the gelling of the gelling action of the pectin that's going to start thickening this mixture together. Jubes on the go. Let's make chocolate mousse. So I've got 150 grams of a sweeter chocolate. It's about 55% cocoa mass, and then about 50 grams of bitter chocolate, all right? And it goes over boiling water. If the water is boiling rapidly, turn it off and let the heat draw through the chocolate. But once that's built a bit of temperature, flick it off, go back, stir it once in a while. So about 200 mils of cream. It's not an exact science. It's just going to make it lighter or heavier depending on how much cream you put in. It just depends how light you want it, how soft you want it. Okay, so once the chocolate's melted, just let that bowl cool down, all right? Because if you add the cream into that warm chocolate and the bowl's hot, temperature's going to go up, cream's going to split, disaster. So we can go back to our jubes and take a ridiculously large bowl and add 100 ml of water and 7 grams of citric acid. Mix it together. And this citric acid is going to play its role in this fruit puree and sugar and pectin mixture, right?
and it's going to help that gel form. So what I do is I take this mixture, take the puree off, and then whisk in. And you've got to be quite quick with this. It's not going to do anything crazy, but you've got to be fairly quick. And then pour that into a tray. And that will start getting a skin on it within the first couple of minutes. It's going to start setting up, and then once it's firm enough to move around without it changing shape and spilling all over the floor, pop it in the fridge. While that jute mixture is setting, we'll get back to the chocolate mousse. I'm adding oil, in this case hazelnut oil, for flavour and for a bit of texture. Probably about 2 tablespoons, if that, all right? Mix it together. You can add this in small batches or just go for gold and add the whole lot. Because it's a small amount, I'm just going to add all of that whipped cream and then fold. And just when I get to that kind of smooth consistency when everything's folded together, then I go, yep, I'm there. All right. Stop. I was just thinking, do I lick the spatula or do I give it someone?
Me.
Michelle's at the front going, I want to eat it. Here, best lollipop on the planet. It's nice, isn't it? And now they're done, we're going to do a granola, which is going to be the crunchy element in this dessert. Very precise, this recipe. Nuts, oats, and I'm going to put some ginger in here. So powdered ginger. I need to mix that through, actually. Gives it a nice flavour. And then honey. And I reckon a couple of tablespoons, all right? But enough, essentially, to sweeten and clump it together. So just pop that into a 180-degree oven, and the golden rule for me is toast all of that first, add the fruit, give it a minute or two in the oven just to kind of blow the fruit or puff the fruit and get it out. If you add the fruit now, it's all going to burn. Right, ice cream. I need a volunteer to come and peel. And who do I want to pick on? Sam. Come on. It means you, mate. I want you to get your hands dirty. All right? I do this all the time at home because for salads and everything, this is the only way, as far as I'm concerned, to cook a beetroot. And the reason you bake them is because you intensify the flavour, right? You intensify the colour of the flavour. It goes like jam.
How long did you bake them for?
Take about an hour and a half. Depends how big they are. These were an hour. And by baking them in foil, you can, in theory, if you're lucky, be free.
This one I prepared earlier.
There's one I prepared earlier. So, as you can see from the one on the floor, all right, that by putting it in the foil, you can most of the time just pop that little baby out, and yeah, you can finish that job. Right, chuck it in the blender. Yep, thank you, Sam. All right. Right, we're rock and rolling. Okay, blend. Look at that. That is just pure beetroot goodness. That is so nice. Look at that. So what we do with this, pour it onto a tray and freeze it. Do exactly the same with the frozen blackberries. Yep, straight out of the packet, let them defrost. If you want to sweeten it, you can. You can just dust it with a little bit of icing sugar, leach out some of those juices, but don't have to. Blend it, strain it, freeze it. So you end up with 2 frozen purees. So what we have here is the frozen blackberry juice. We've got the frozen beetroot puree. Yep. Into a blender. Half a cup of icing sugar.
and 1 egg white. So that's the ice cream done.
Gary, does the icing sugar play a role in texture? Could you use normal granulated sugar?
Granulated sugar, no, because it's not going to dissolve. It needs to dissolve, and you need that deliciously soft ice cream straight up. So pop that in the freezer, and essentially we've got all our components ready. We just need to pop the fruit on the granola, give it a minute or two, and then we'll plate up. It's getting dark and toasty and interesting. Give it a stir. Got some dried ginger and some currants and raisins. Okay, so we've got all our components. We've got our tubes, which we're going to cut. Ice cream, nice and soft and delicious. Mousse done. That's what the tube mixture is going to look like when it's set. So we'll cut a couple of strips, and we're just going to make some cubes. End piece, always for the chef. All right, and then toss it into sugar. All right. So now what you end up with, little sugary, delicious fruity tubes. Okay, so plate up time. A tube or two. There you go. 3 really basic recipes turned into an amazing dessert. My chocolate and beetroot. All right. Cool. Done. So some volunteers to taste. Come on, up you come. Bum, bum, bum. Let's go. All right, here, grab a spoon and eat. What do you reckon, Sammy?
That is awesome. The ice cream was surprising. It's so refreshing against the chocolate mousse.
All the crunchy bits and then the soft bits. Yeah. Oh, it's textural, happy place. And it's got fruits and vegetables. It's practically breakfast.
It's healthy.
Like it's healthy.
It's a Nutribowl.
Exactly.
Right, good stuff. Back to you, Steve. Right, hope you learned something. Can you see where I'm trying to push you? I'll be watching the next challenges next week very, very closely. But now, Matt.
Coming up, Matt serves up his take on chips and nuggets.
Let's go.
With a flavour-packed mayonnaise, you'll want to make it home.
Oh my, how good is that? How good is that? Right, did you have fun with Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah, was that delicious? That ice cream is the way I like to try and cook in the kitchen. I'm not a chef, I'm a home cook, and my job is to try and find quicker, easier, tastier ways of doing stuff that traditionally would take a really long time. So this recipe is basically nuggets and chips. But if you're going to cook for a family, if you're going to cook for your kids as well, it's really about providing some healthy, nutritious stuff as well. So, you know, the little bit of butter that we're going to put on the nuggets, the schnitzely bits, that's a decadent bit, but the chips don't use any oil. We're going to serve the nuggets and the chips in little lettuce cups like Sancho Bao. So it's fun to assemble, it's a good thing to do, and I think part of the joy of getting kids to eat is to actually get them involved in the process. So, very simple, standard schnitzel crumb. You could use fresh breadcrumbs, and then into there I'm going to put some freshly picked thyme. You don't need to use thyme, but thyme gives you that lovely kind of garden flavour, and also probably about half a cup of parmesan. Then we're just going to toss this together, and we're just going to use this crumb in order to dress some chicken thighs. Meat mallet, flat side. We're not trying to tenderise and break up the fibres of the chicken. We just want to flatten it. So 2 thighs, spread out, second bit of grease proof over the top. So I'm just going to cut the chicken into bite-sized chunks. Bit of chicken, put a couple of bits of chicken in. I put the butter over some steaming water just to keep it warm, just to ensure that it doesn't set on me. Then toss them around in the crumb, just so they get nicely coated. And then on a flat-sided baking tray, you want the air to circulate, so you want to give these beauties a bit of space so they toast up. This is the only thing that's going to take you time. You want to do 4 or 5 batches and then keep them warm in a warming drawer and a slow oven as well. So this tray of crumb thighs goes in the oven for about 15-20 minutes at 200 degrees. Right, now, sweet potato chips. So these sweet potato chips are made with no oil. Again, we're using baking paper because it's not going to stick. We're going to peel ribbons of sweet potato to lay on the baking sheets. We've done it with pasta chips. It's standard. It's super simple. We're just going to lay them on the baking tray. So these slices into a moderate oven, 160 degrees. We've got our nuggets cooking in the oven. We've got the chips going in another oven. We're now going to make something to go with that. Something decadent, something delicious. Basically a miso and bacon mayonnaise. The beauty about this mayonnaise is it's robust. You can put other flavours in it. Now, Nicole, do you want to come up and have a go?
Yeah.
I need, in the bottom of there, a tablespoon, a kind of generous heaped tablespoon of miso at the bottom. About a tablespoon of rice wine vinegar. Oh, next up, whole egg. Crack a whole egg.
Yeah.
Now, they're really important not to break the yolk of the egg. This is the only rule with it. What I would do is I'd rest that down there. Now it's a crack, then you can drop it in. Yeah. All right, there you go. Done. Great, fantastic, good work. All right, stand it up. I'll take that for you. And then I'm going to make quite a thick mayonnaise. We're going to push it. So I'm going to use 350 ml of oil. Right, stick blender. We're going to put the basket of the stick blender with the blade over the egg yolk. All right. Now, when we turn on the blender, you're going to, when you start seeing little white ribbons come out from the bottom, you're going to start pulling the blender up through the mayonnaise, give it a bit of a bounce, and it should come together. If it doesn't, it's her fault. Let's go. Press, watch the ribbons pull up through the let's go. Are they coming? Are they coming? Are they coming? Yes, all right, start pulling it up through pull it up all the way up. Bounce it a bit, go on. Go on, keep them going all the way up the top. Bounce it down, up and down a bit. Oh my, how good is that? How good is that? How good is that? Well done. Give it a stir. Lift it up. Finger, no, I was looking. Rock and roller.
Yeah.
That's good. In order to incorporate the bacon, put in a few chunks of it like that. Just blend it in, bounce it up and down to incorporate, and away we go. All the way down. Look how robust that mayonnaise is. Isn't that crazy? We're gonna have to taste it again. You know that. This will stay in your fridge for 3-4 days. And now try that.
Yum.
Oh
So
my! Yeah, how good is that? Now that is miso bacon mayonnaise. We'll put it in a fancy pot for serving because the boys wouldn't like it like that. And we're going to give Nicole a huge round of applause. That's great. We now have to pull out our chips. They've shrunk a fair bit. This is why you need to do lots of trays and do it in advance. And you're also going to have to pull out your nuggets. Again, they're going to shrink a bit, but super simple. Okay, so we're going to plate up now. So I'm going to do this family style, beautiful wooden board. Take the chips. Again, you know, that's probably 5 trays of chips here, but you want a big pile of them. So, here we have our platter, our miso bacon mayonnaise, our buttery nuggets, and also our crisp potato chips. Right, so tasting time. Tamara, Benjamin, and Ben, come up. Come on. This is like a family meal. If you wait, Matt, George, and Gary have eaten everything. If you want a little bit of lemon juice on there, Ben, because your body's a temple. What do you reckon? You reckon, you know? Because that lemon juice melts away all the fat. That's great. Let's go. Ben?
Yeah, I actually love it. I just think the crispiness of the chips with the lettuce, and then also like the sweetness from the syrup, and then also the spiciness from the mayonnaise. Awesome.
All right, Tamara, Benjamin, Ben, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Matt. Awesome. Thanks, Matt.
Well, George and Gary are waiting for you down in the garden. They've got some fantastic and absolutely bang-on trend tips for making pasta and flavoured pasta. So off you go. See you later. You guys.
Coming up, Gary's tips on making the perfect pasta.
Put a bit of effort in, and I want to feel it smooth out.
And George serves up a mouth-watering Middle Eastern-inspired dish.
This big bowl of these little dumplings with a garlic and yogurt sauce. Melbourne CBD, yeah? Look at this, huh? One of the best cities in the world. This is it, the last cook of the day. Have you enjoyed the day?
Yeah.
Fabulous, yeah? Gary and I are going to cook together.
We're going to cook you some pasta. So I'm going to make 2 pastas, and then you're going to make...
Yeah, I'm going to make a little dish inspired from a Middle Eastern dish called mante, or mantu. They're little tortellinis filled with lambs and burnt butter, sumac, and dashi sauce over the top. Pretty exciting.
Really delicious. So the first one we're going to make, and we're just going to use a normal mixer for this one, is I've got 500 grams of durum wheat flour, which is slightly coarser, okay? So it's a whole wheat germ flour, all right? It's been milled so that it's got, when you put it between your fingers, you can just feel the grains, okay? Whereas when you put the 00 between your fingers, it'll clump together. This won't, all right? But this one's 9 yolks and 3 eggs. And the reason for all that yolk is mouthfeel, so it's fat, essentially, right? Makes it very rich, okay? So whisk those together. Pour in. Pinch of salt. Little dash of olive oil.
You know,
about a tablespoon.
A little tip for you, if you're making your pasta dough to use the following day, avoid putting the salt in it, because the salt will actually cook the egg yolks and make the actual dough all speckly. So avoid it. It's always good. My rule of thumb is you make the dough in the morning, wrap it in cling film and leave it outside. And then, you know, when you go to roll it sort of mid-morning, lunchtime-ish, it's fine.
Well, it's got to rest, number one. So biggest problem you have in the kitchen always is time. And so if you're going to make a dough, doesn't matter what it is, even if you're going to make a sweet pastry dough to bake, you've got to make it pretty damn quick because you've got to rest it, okay? Anybody want to come up and kind of have a feel? Yeah, Samuel. Just come up and just do me a favour, just work that around just a little bit. See the texture of it, the consistency of it, a little bit, but it's coming together easily, feels good, it's pliable, nice feel. just knead that for 2 minutes for me. You got to understand that you'll need it, okay? But you need to rest it because the liquid in there and the oils in there just need time to do their thing, right? It's got to relax, and you'll find it feels very stiff now on the knead, but once it's been sitting under your bench resting, 20 minutes, it feels completely different, all right? It's like making bread. Want to pass this one around? Okay. What I want to get out of this dough is I want to push it, and I want to fold it back on itself, and I want to put a bit of effort in, just lean on it, use the heel of your hand, all right? And I want to feel it smooth out. And it's getting there. All right, see that? Smooth. Cut it up into manageable pieces, wrap it in cling film, rest it. So we're going to make the second one in the food processor. We use 300 flour, 00, and 200 of spinach, and you can put parsley in there, tarragon in there, whatever you want. Pinch of salt. So basically with this one, we want to let the machine do the work to draw out all the moisture out of the spinach and start to form a little bit of a dough.
That is amazing, that the moisture in the spinach, because spinach is 80% water, yeah, is what's binding it all together. It's great.
Dash of oil. Again, it's just a totally different mouthfeel, and it will give you a slightly different result. And it's particularly, and this one's very different, it's very soft, right? But a firmer pasta will go through a machine beautifully, right? But if you try and hand roll out a firm pasta, it is a nightmare. You'll be there for hours. This softer pasta is used for little hand-rolled pastas, right? You can make peachy, or you can make little strozzapreti, or hand-rolled cannelloni, you know, stuff like this, okay? Pia, do you know how to make any of those? Little orecchiette or peachy,
yeah.
Or do you?
Yeah. Not...
Come and show me one.
No Pia.
Come on, baby. Get up. What would you do for a little orecchiette? Make a
Just
ball?
into a ball.
Go on then, have a go. And then just use your thumb.
Yeah. It's a big fat one.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's homemade, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
homemade. And you know what's nice about it? So you get a little...
Little indent.
I'll say, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Too fat.
Okay.
Oh, yours are better than mine. That's too big.
You know what I would
They
do? And this, you know what I was thinking? As a little garnish for one of your beautiful dishes, imagine if you did, I don't know, a chicken, roast chicken, or a, you know, a little scallopini or something like that, and you made beautiful, tiny little orecchiette or little strozzapreti or something like that. I'd be impressed. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
Give it a go.
Yes.
All right.
Done?
George,
Right.
you crack onto the fast. Pia, you can actually make orecchiette. Sit down. Brilliant. Well done. Round of applause for Pia.
Coming up, George's tip for creating the perfect tortellini.
Some people put egg. I don't think it's needed.
Which is guaranteed to become a family favourite.
Beautiful. Looks amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Okay, so this sort of classic dish called Monty, it's delicious, it's yummy, and you find it throughout the whole Middle East. It's this big bowl of these little dumplings with a garlic and yogurt sauce. We've just got good lamb mince, nothing too out of the ordinary. And, you know, you can use a beef mince if you want, or a chicken mince. Just got to make sure it's got a good amount of fat content in there. Toasted pine nuts. Toast your nuts in the oven, yeah? Don't do them in a frying pan. I've got raisins here that we've soaked in white soy sauce. And what's happened is that soy sauce is thickened because of the sugar content in the raisins. So we'll add a couple of spoonfuls of that. lots of fresh mint. You know, obviously it's got the idea of being Middle Eastern, and Middle Eastern food loves mint. 1 egg.
I love this little mixture.
A little pinch of salt. Okay, and then we just give that a good mix. Right, fast as made.
Okay.
Are you gonna?
Yeah, so I'm just rolling it out by hand. You're rolling it out into a strip, doing a book fold, turning it around and rolling it the other way. And when you're rolling through these laminators, or, you know, through this laminating attachment, you don't want to be tearing this pasta. So you need it to be thin enough to go through the rollers so that you're not chasing your tail and turning it into a little raggedy piece of pasta. So set it at its widest setting. In this case, it's 1 on here. Medium speed. Drop it through. And all you're looking for when you're laminating is just it to smooth out. All right, that's what you want. And what I tend to do is put it through the widest, drop it down 1, fold it, and if you want, you can do like a double fold like that. Back on the rolling pin, and then back on the widest setting again. So hopefully it goes through without too much struggle and strain on the machine. So pretty much there, getting smooth. Roll it out.
Guys, while you're doing that, I'm just going to snip lots of this dry mint into some yogurt, and that's going to form the sauce. I'm not putting garlic in this. I don't want the garlic to grow and overpower in flavour. And we just set that aside, ready for service, ready to plate up.
You're nearly ready to make tortellinis?
Yep, I'm ready. It's been a while since we've done these together.
I know.
And none of this goes to waste, this pasta, huh? Yeah, there's no such thing as scrap. Right, some of the mixture, and it's important that everyone gets the same amount. If I'm pedantic in the restaurant, we weigh them all out individually first and then make them so they're all even. But I've got a teaspoon and pretty much.
And just a bit of water to seal.
Some people put egg. I don't think it's needed.
As long as you press it down firmly.
And then what I do is just sit them up, put my thumb there, press and turn. Right, there are little tortellinis. Let's plate this one up. Right, so I got the water on. It's not boiling stupid. Yeah, you don't boil tortellinis or full pasta. You gently cook them. All right, so they're going to take a couple of minutes. Obviously, the water is salty. Right, butter sauce. Right, good amount of butter. We're going to add a couple of things. Sumac and instant dashi powder and lemon juice. That's it. Right, as it starts to foam there, this is when you need to concentrate. Yeah, because it's going to turn very quickly and you're going to end up with burnt butter, not burnt butter. Yeah, does that make sense? Instant dashi goes in. Some of that.
And the dashi because
it's going to add some lovely funkiness. Sumac, right? Yeah, that goes in. And at that point, see how it's foaming up? That's when I cool it down and cut it with lemon juice. Okay, sauce, done.
That smells amazing.
All right, simple, simple, simple. Tortellinis have come up to the boil. They're not going to take long. We just want that middle just cooked, okay? Tortellinis, they're ready to go.
That looks yum.
And then, hey, I always keep a set in my car.
Hey! No. It's bloody home cooking week.
I can't do it with my fingers. Lots of these beautiful nasturtiums that were literally plucked out of the garden back at MasterChef. There you go. This is our tortellini filled with lamb, yogurt sauce, burnt butter sauce.
Beautiful. Looks amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Jess and Pia, come on.
Oh my gosh, it looks beautiful. Are you ready? Yeah, go.
It's good?
Oh, it's so good.
Jess, what do you think?
I really love using sumac. It's so sour, and the hit with like the butter, and then you get all the yogurt and mint.
Yeah.
We left you one.
One left.
I'm like a seagull. I've been waiting for this. How good is that?
Yeah.
So, loads of information. Hopefully, you have filled the first few pages jammed full of recipes. And trust us, these will make the difference in one or more of the challenges. And you never know, one day it just might keep you in the competition on a day that you think you're going home.
Well, there you go, guys.
Hang on. We've got a little bit of ceremony because it's the end of home cooking week.
Yeah.
So, George, they were locked up, and it pains me to do this, but Sensei...
Fantastic.
The tweezers return. Yeah, just play with them for a minute. Just have a little go.
I need a moment just to...
There you go.
I feel better now.
So that brings the end of home cooking week. I hope you really enjoyed yourself and played within a certain set of parameters. Next week will be bigger, it'll be tougher, and just to inspire you, we've got two of my favourite chefs coming in to put you through your paces. You're going to love it, but it's going to be hard. But this is the whole point of MasterChef. You're here to gather experiences, get things to put in your kit bag, so when you become as old as me, you have a white beard, you're sitting at home on the veranda, whittling, you can go, remember that time when I was in the MasterChef kitchen and I did that. It's going to be fantastic.
Well done, guys.
See you guys.
See you soon.
Tomorrow night,
a big week calls for a big star.
A superstar chef
Venturi!
Everyone goes wild.
gives the mystery box an Aussie flavour.
How am I going to make a dish out of ingredients I've never tasted before?
He will push them out of their comfort zone.
I just have to stay focused.
How good does that look?
It's a little bit of experimentation.
You're not pulling any punches, you're going all out.
And produce.
You created something super delicious.
Some of the most inventive dishes.
Wow.
So far.
Absolutely fantastic.